Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the first of many of our Werewolf the Wild West campaign. I am the Ravnos Archon. My name is Will, and I will be your storyteller this evening. And we pick up in 1860. Out in the wilds of the American West, there is a town that rose up out of necessity. Conflict was founded and named not for the bloodshed that it would come to know, for the trouble of coming up with the proper name for a city. Founded for its mining veins, Harold Penterton and Bartholomew Syrex have worked industrially hard at making Conflict a gateway city, a stop on the way to California. It had been 12 years since the end of the Mexican-American War, 12 years since the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo divided the western portions of the United States into Arizona, Nevada, Utah, and Colorado, where Conflict resides. The Colorado Territory has seen an influx of pioneers, settlers, and those just looking to make their fortune in one way or another. It has been 2 years since the Pikes Peak gold rush began, and as the saying goes, there's gold in them there are hills. Sitting in the shadow of Culebra Peak, Conflict stands to make the right people rich, and with greed slithering through the streets like the namesake of the mountain looming over them, we will be honing in on a group of people from disparate walks of life, from far-flung and neighboring territories, and with only one thing in common. They are Guru. They are werewolves. They are the ones that walk the two worlds, our world of the material plane and the spirit world. The werewolves of myth and legend. The Sombra Escondida cairn is watched over by a worried group of Wendigo, Uktena, and Red Talons, 3 very different tribes with very different views on how and why mankind has pushed this far out. Stories of the white man continue to circulate. Stories about how they bring ruin and the weaver in their wake. Stories about how they allow themselves to be seduced by the worm. And stories about how the wild weeps with every conquering step they take. The town of Conflict has and will live up to its name. The land stirs as the trampling of boots, the hammering of iron, and the hoots and hollering of men replaces the barks and howls of the wolves. Progress comes to Conflict. Main Street comes to life with the rising of the sun and is lively well into the moon's claim of the sky above. Farmland is plentiful, mining is bountiful, and the liquor is abundant. But a storm is on the horizon. Thunder rolls like the heavy wheels of a wagon train. Lightning cracks like a chorus of whips on the railroad, and the darkening of the sky creeps ever closer to Conflict, Colorado. And now we ask the important question: how will Juan Jose weather the storm that's coming? It's good to see you, sir. Some of our audience members might recognize you from Star Wars or your few stints on the vampire game where you get to play Otis King, which is a funny nomenclature, thinking now about how Ventru he really has become.
Oh man, what you have done with Otis King is beautiful. It's beautiful.
Thank you, sir. I always try to get you guys to play your own characters, but when I have to, I think I have a good beat on them.
Oh no, trust me, you do.
Uh,
Definitely.
we're gonna find Juan, or Pepe, as he likes to be called.
Pepe.
We're gonna find him on a wagon train. He is making his way to Conflict. He has a very simple letter, kind of flicking through his fingers. I think he's absentmindedly playing with the corners of it. It is robotic in how it has been typed out because it was what's it called? A telegram. So none of the emotion is there from a handwritten letter, but it is a letter from Mia. She is requesting your assistance. Um, she has just moved out to Conflict, Colorado, with her current fiance.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Yep. But she is trying to help the church establish itself here in the city. She could think of no better person to help out with that endeavor than you. And so, gathering what little you had and coming from, where do you think we would have found Pepe if not on this road?
Where he would be if not here?
Mm-hmm.
Probably in a saloon playing some cards. And, and up to and probably getting into trouble while he plays those cards
Okay.
by speaking very bluntly or winning at the game or possibly maybe winning even if it's cheating is still winning.
Winning is winning.
Yep.
So, when we find you instead of in a cozy saloon, some small shot of liquor in front of you, cards may or may not be up your sleeve. How does he look for traveling the road?
Pepe looks okay. Let me break this down
Sure.
as best as possible. Pepe, we'll start from the feet up. He's got some rugged, beaten up brown boots. Like they've seen no holes in them, but you can tell they're not new and polished or cleaned. He's got dark brown pinstripe pants that are worn out, probably a little bit um, shredded and tattered at the bottom of the seams of by the boot area. He's got a dirty. It used to be white long sleeve shirt, but now it's kind of grayish. Some dirt stains, smudges, but the sleeves are rolled up to his elbow. No cards up his sleeves. It's show part of his duties to show that he's not cheating at the game in cards. He's got a dirty gray handkerchief around his neck. He's got a dark brown vest, and it's burgundy, like a burgundy red in the back. He wears a dark brown cowboy hat, low brim. He's got dark, short, unkept, curly, wavy hair, dark eyes. Um, he's got a beard and mustache, somewhere in between, shaved and long, pretty much like I guess like mine, unkept but not completely wilderness style,
Yeah,
like frontier man.
I get you.
Like I said, like almost like mine. He's tan as well. Um, he definitely has a pistol at the hip and on the side of his right hip, and then a pistol on the front. And although he's dirty and rugged looking, and his holsters, his gun holsters, are not dirty. They're very. They have what's the word I'm looking for? Like not stones, but they got
Machine?
like metal like metal like buttons
Okay.
around it.
Rivets.
Rivets. Thank you.
There you
Oof.
go.
Yeah, he's got both holsters have rivets. He also has a knife in the back. that behind him. Uh, he always you can see he has a flask as well.
Hmm.
His build pretty much he's got the somewhat of a dad bod going on, you know, a little gut,
Okay.
you know, um, and he pretty much smells what he looks like. He smells like he looks and smells like he hasn't bathed in a few days, maybe a week or two.
It's not a luxury he treats himself to.
Mm, if there's an opportunity to bathe, he'll take it. If not, it's like whatever.
Okay. Um, Not your average 25-year-old. He definitely looks weathered, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's right. That's right. His age. I forgot. Yeah. He is 25,
Hmm.
but definitely does not look young and springy. He's looks probably in his mid 30s, maybe 40s.
Okay. Um, the windows have been open the entire trip. Um, you are sitting across from two other gentlemen. One has been with you since, I want to say, Kansas, and the other one started the trip out further east, all the way in uh, the edge of New York. And so the older of the two gentlemen has this very gray beard, very short kept hair, is in a very clean, at least it was when the trip started. It's got some smudges now, but it's a almost egg yolk yellow suit, white undershirt. Uh, Keeps this red polka dot handkerchief that he uses to dab the sweat away from him. The younger of the two gentlemen both look to be in business of some kind because they're both wearing suits. His is a gray kind of shale colored suit, same white shirt underneath. Um, he did start the trip with a bow tie, but has since taken it off and put it in his pocket as a handkerchief. Um, though he doesn't use it to kind of wipe the sweat away, he does have another one that he keeps in his pant pocket. Both of them have same kind of looking leather shoes, and they both smell of industry, of some kind of blue collar work. They've tried to make conversation, but neither one of them knows how to play cards. Neither one of them has anything really in common with Pepe. And so both of them are kind of right now staring out the windows, their respective windows. Uh,
Do they each have a name? Did I get their names at least?
yeah, the
One from Kansas.
the one from Kansas, the younger one of the two, his name is Samuel Collins. Um, the older gentleman is Thomas Eston Esquire.
Let's see.
Thomas
They I
Mitchell Eston.
think just got even more fancy.
Yep.
Have they been drinking?
Nope. Not at all.
I'm sure I offered a drink or two, but they probably refused.
They did.
Yeah, these guys are a bunch of squares.
If fun were a rattlesnake and it bit them, it would die.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So now I keep to myself playing. Oh, that's one thing I forgot to mention.
Hmm.
Pepe always has more than one deck of cards on him.
Hmm.
So he's probably playing with a deck of cards, doing different tricks here and there, shuffling them in between.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and then he'll probably lean a little bit closer to the gentleman and do the tricks like in front of them. Shuffle them
Yeah.
and sit back. It's like
The younger one of the two will be interested in a trick if you do show it to him. Our lawyer friend has no interest whatsoever. One of the drivers, however, pulls over, kind of drops down, hangs off of the coach, leans into the window. Oh, gentlemen, we should be arriving by sundown. We can see the city in the distance. Two gentlemen nod. Then he kind of nods to you, and then you hear him scrambling back up onto the seat.
I know. That's good. That's good news, eh, amigos?
Samuel kind of nods at you. I declare, sir, it is good news.
Yeah. See, very good news. Very good news indeed.
You here for family, sir?
Finally, one of you speaks and decides to strike a conversation. Uh, no familia, no family out there.
No.
Just going to see what conflict brings. Hopefully, conflict. You know.
I understand, sir. I understand.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I can use a bath too. I don't know. What do you think? Huh?
He nods. He's like, with no disrespect intended, sir, I do believe that would be a right marvelous idea for you.
Yeah. I just I spit out the window. I'm sorry, I didn't catch all that. Yeah.
Yeah. Just said it might be a good idea, sir. That's all.
If it happens, it happens. So what brings you out to conflict?
I'm looking at starting a business, sir. Helping out.
Ah, what type of business?
General supplies, really. I got some starter stuff, nothing major, but I hear conflict is expanding, ever expanding. I'm looking to cash in on that. Strike while the iron's hot, as they say.
Little general supply store, huh? Nice. Now I know. Remember this face when I come by your store, amigo.
He nods.
What about What about too good to have a conversation? What brings you to conflict, amigo?
The old man turns in your direction. I'm here to help establish the law, sir. I'm a lawyer.
Ooh,
And then he goes back to looking out the window.
the law, Mr. Lawyer. That explains the nice fancy suits, huh?
No reaction.
And I just motion. I'm like to the Kansas guy. This is actually quite boring. You both are killing me. Card trick. Anybody wants to see one? I don't. I don't answer and get excited over there, Mr. Lawyer, sir.
Yep. The Kansas guy kind of smiles. He's like, I could do one more, sir.
So I pull up. All right. I pull out a. I fan the cards out. I'm like, pick a card and do one of my nice little card tricks for him.
Okay. And, he buys into it. The whole selling of it, the whole prestige of it. Excuse me. And at the end, he just kind of claps to ice. Just a quick little pop pop. And then he kind of smiles at you. Marvelous trick, sir. So you will do well busking on the corners.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I'm on business too, like yourself, like both of you actually, Waddle. Yeah,
You're a businessman, sir.
yeah, yeah. You can say that. Yeah, lots of business. I'm a jack of all trades, you might say. You know.
No. You're a handyman, sir.
Handyman. Um, I pick my nose a little bit and flick it out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, handyman. Interior farmer. I'm, like I said, jack of all trades. A lawyer.
The older gentleman scoffs, but he continues to watch, to just look out the window.
And dabbled here and there and everything, you know.
Kansas nods.
They're not carrying any a piece on them or anything, right?
No, neither one of them has appeared to have anything on them.
Uh, yeah. You know, I like to have fun, you know, just see what life takes me.
Yeah. I wish I could be as carefree as you, sir.
Yeah, why not? You gotta live a little. I mean, how? I mean, that's great. You have the supply store and everything, but really, is that something you've always wanted to do when you were a little kid?
Oh, no, sir.
Did you just like get up and stop playing with a ball and be like, I'm gonna open a general supply store and that's it, you know?
No, sir. Ran into a family issue, to be honest, and I've tried to make the best of it, sir. That's all.
Ah, family. You got family, wife, kids.
No, no, sir. I will not be so fortunate.
Ah, I bet you our amigo over here has wife and kids, probably, huh? You
He
say,
he nods without even looking your direction.
go not all you want.
You feel the
Yeah.
coach come to a stop, and you hear the two drivers get down. One of them bangs on the door. E-brake.
Ah, good.
Stretch your legs if you want to.
I need to do more than just stretch my legs.
And both of them exit out the nearest door that they're next to.
Yeah, I exit out behind them.
Okay.
Is there anything suspicious about these two gentlemen? Anything?
Nothing really. You've been with them for at least a better part of a week. Um, the two horses pulling the wagon, pulling the carriage at least, are looking good.
I look to see how the horses are. Like, look, every time we come to a stop, I always get down after the gentleman. I never get down first.
Mm-hmm.
Wait for them to get off, and then I get off just in case. And I always go and check on the horses.
Okay.
Check on them. You know, I make sure they're good and everything.
Give me a charisma and animal ken roll.
Charisma and animal cat.
Yeah. Because every time that you approach, they do kind of sense the beast inside of you.
Okay, so charisma is 3 and what kind is 4?
The instinct is to back away. Say difficulty 6.
I got a 7, a 5, 6, and a 1.
Okay.
2 successes.
1 success.
One, oh yeah, because the 1 cancels out.
1 cancels out. The horses look to be a little tired. It looks like they'll make it to conflict, but it does look like they've been pushed.
I go up to the drivers. I'm like, hey, mind, maybe we should take this break a little bit longer. The horses, they don't look too good. He goes,
The older driver kind of looks at you. He's like, "Horses are horses, sir. They look like they'll make it to the city, and they'll get their rest when we get there."
yeah, but they're not. I mean, look at them. They've been pushing, and it's been a long journey. I mean, you're tired. I'm tired. Imagine them. I'm in the sun and everything.
I'd rather not be out in the nighttime, to be honest with you, sir. Not around here.
More or less, what time is it? I mean,
At this point, it's maybe what would be considered 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. I'm just saying. I mean, how far are we from conflict?
He points out. You can see that he's still pissing. But he points over in the direction that the road goes, and you can see a couple of plumes of smoke just kind of slithering up into the sky. They're like gray, lightly black snakes of smoke just making their way up. It looks like it's a few miles off.
Yeah. And I put my arm around him. I'm like, look, amigo, we look like we're a few miles out. An hour break tops. It's not gonna delay the situation. We're right there. You know?
Kind of looks at you. He looks at the other guy, at the other driver. He shakes it off, puts it back in his pants, and he's like, "All right, looks like we're taking a lunch early then."
Thank you, thank you. The horse is gonna appreciate it, and you know, them being well rested, they might get there even faster than what you anticipated.
He walks away from you.
Yeah. Look to see where the other 2 suits are.
New York is sitting on the floor of the carriage. He's taken off one of his boots and is kind of like shaking it out. Kansas is standing off the road. He's pulled out a small kind of journalist's notebook, and you see him just furiously drawing, it looks like.
Do they have food, any of them?
Probably, but they haven't shown it.
New York has lunch.
Yeah.
So I go up. I go to see what Kansas is drawing.
You approach him, and as he hears you kind of coming up on him, he quickly puts the pencil away and closes his journal.
No, you don't. Kansas. It's okay. Continue. I was just curious to see what you were doing. You look like you were angry and mad, just there scribbling in your little notepad.
No, sir. I like to draw is all, sir, and made my father furious.
Oh, I like art. Let me show Pepe what you got.
Uh, he's like, "Oh, these are terrible, sir. You don't want to see these."
Can't be them. Come on,
You,
I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm starting to understand now. This is Kansas did not one day decide I'm gonna open a general supply store. I think Kansas wanted to be an artist.
no, sir, no. That would have made my father furious. I couldn't have. Uh, and you see him like he's about to hand you the thing, and then he pulls it back towards him. the,
Kansas. Shh. Listen. Your eyes. Come on, close your eyes.
he does.
Close your eyes.
He does.
Okay. Open them, Kansas. Open them.
He opens them.
Mira. Mira. Starts going around. Mira. Look around you. See your father anywhere.
No, sir, I
Yeah,
don't.
unless New York over there's your father, and by I hope he isn't. You know, and I do the sign of the cross.
Yeah, no, sir, he's not.
You have nothing to worry about. He's gonna be furious. If there's only one father, he's upstairs in the clouds. Dios. To Kansas, please. Por favor, amigo.
He takes
Because
he
I
takes
did show
in
you card tricks.
he takes in a deep breath, and he just extends his hand out with the little journal.
I reached out. Okay.
You can be honest with me if it's terrible, sir. I have thick skin. I can assure you.
I looked through them. What am I seeing?
It is landscapes mostly because he's been on the road with you for a few days now. But the further you go towards the beginning of the journal, the more you see that there's like flowers, there's like still life, there's a picture of, there's a drawing of what looks to be some woman. Uh, there's another picture of a building. There's a picture of the coach that you're on, the drawings of the two drivers. There's another drawing of the girl. This time it looks a little off. It looks like this is from memory.
I have a drawing of New York or myself, right?
No, there are none.
Okay. Just the drivers and
Yeah,
landscaping.
and the newest one that he was working on is the landscape that you're looking at right now.
So I hold it up and compare it to the landscaping, and I'm like,
It for being pencil, it is fantastic.
his work is good. You know. It's,
Yeah.
no. Mm-mm-mm. Starting shaking my head.
Yeah, you see him kind of squat down. He's like, "Oh, it's terrible. I know."
It is, amigo. This is terrible, amigo.
I shouldn't have shown it to you, sir.
No, I am Kansas. Kansas. How are you gonna show me this atrocity?
Yeah, I shouldn't have, sir, and I apologize. I don't know what.
Kansas, this is horrible, Kansas. And I keep flipping to the pages, and I'm like, and I start shaking the book. Kansas.
I know. It's this is why.
You don't know, Kansas. This is horrible, Kansas. You hand me this book and you show me your artwork, and I don't see one drawing of me in this book. You have these two waddles over here, the drivers, but me? Oh, I can't believe you.
You see that he kind of slowly starts to stand back up. His head tilts. He's like,
I can't believe it. I'm looking through this and I'm like, man, You got beautiful flowers and landscaping. This is beautiful. This right here that you just did right now so fast. Really good, my amigo. But and you got this beautiful girl. I see. But horrible, me. Where am I in these pictures? I mean, did you rip it and put it in your back pocket or something? And
His hand comes up to his head, and he's just like, I would never dream of just.
it's terrible. This is a lack of respect, amigo.
I didn't know you wanted your picture drawn, sir.
I don't know. I would have really, really been disrespected if I would have looked in here and you would have had a drawing of Mr. New York, Mr. Lawyer, you know, but thank God you didn't have him.
Yeah. No, he leans in and he's like, I would have, sir, but he frightens me.
Yeah? There's nothing to be scared. Nothing to be scared of. I'm the one with the guns, not him.
At
And I hand
that,
him back the.
at that, he kind of takes the book and takes a step back. He's like, yeah, you're right, sir. I shouldn't be afraid of him.
Yeah, I mean it's not a secret. My guns are out. So
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah. Just shows you how oblivious he's been.
yeah. I'm really wow. I have good stuff, but I was hoping, I see there a picture of me or something. I don't know. All this time, but keep it up. I don't know why you're wasting time with the general supply store.
It's show work, sir. It's stable work. Nobody's clamoring for an artist.
New York over here probably needs an artist for his law stuff.
But he kind
All
of
right, New York.
he the guy from New York doesn't even pay attention to you. But Kansas kind of flips to a new page and he pulls out his pencil again. He's like, do you want to pose, sir? Or do you want me to catch you il fragante au natural?
No. You want me to pose? What do you want me to pose? I fix my head. I crack my neck. Is this my good side or this other side?
Uh,
Or try and I take out one of my guns and as I take it out, the one that's that I keep in front of me,
mm-hmm.
I take it out. But as I take it out, I do like a little trick spin action, like that. Huh? I put it back in the holster. Well, what should I do? Or should I just should I sit next to New York and you can draw both of us?
And you just hear, I would rather not be drawn, thank you. No one has time for frivolous childhood obsessions.
I don't speak English, amigo. Sorry.
But yeah, Kansas just kind of looks at you. He's like, to take a phrase out of what you appear to be at home at, I think it's dealer's choice, sir. However you like.
I see what you did there, Kansas. You see what you did there, dealers. I like that. I like that.
But yeah, he eats up a good portion of the hour just drawing you. Slowly and very carefully rips the page out and hands it to you.
Got it. How does it look?
Let's find out. He's trying to impress you, so it'll be a difficulty 7 for him. Oh, 3 successes. It is probably some of the best work that's ever been done about you. captured the shading really nicely. He's made you look cleaner than you are.
This is really good. Kansas, really good.
I mean, it's not a portrait or anything, sir, but you know, I did what I could with what I had.
Really good, amigo. Really good.
Puts his pad away. The two drivers get back on the carriage, and the younger one's like, "All right, we're heading out. Everybody back inside."
So how much for the drawing?
Oh, no, please, sir. I could never charge you for that. Just a simple, quick thing.
Muchísimas gracias. Nod and my hat.
Yeah, of course. Gracias to you too.
I fold it very delicately in front of him.
Okay.
When he's not looking, I just stuff it in my pocket.
Yeah.
Not trying to hurt the guy's feelings either.
Yeah. But the carriage does take off, and just as the sun is setting and the last bit of light disappears into the sky, you arrive in conflict. You can see that there's music coming from the main saloon, which is called the Gold-Digger. There's ladies that are already standing on the balcony. Some of them are waving at the newcomers. In the distance, on the north side of Main Street, you can see that high pointed steeple and the cross of the church.
Sorry, Joe. What's the name of the saloon again?
The Gold-Digger.
Gold-Digger. Wow. The church. I can see the church from here.
Yeah, it's all the way at the end of Main Street on the northernmost part of the street.
All right.
As you get
What
out,
time is it?
right now it's maybe what would be considered 7. As you get out and you start to walk around, you can see that there's the construction of what looks to be not a train yard, but a train station. Although you didn't see any iron tracks coming this far. You can see the trench that has been dug out where the track would go. You can see the spattering of lights on the mountain. It's maybe a couple of miles from the city proper. Where do you want to go off to? The city's yours to discover.
So I say goodbye to these people already ventured off. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Kansas, New York.
Kansas stuck around because he's got to get his stuff off of the top of the carriage. But New York just took his bag and already made his way over to try to find a place to stay.
I take a whiff of that air.
It is mountain air. You can smell the sweat coming off of the saloon. You can smell the kind of liquor in the air, the bits of food. It definitely smells like there's some kind of kitchen attached to the saloon. And once The actual sun has disappeared and the darkness is starting to encroach in earnest. You see that people are going around kind of lighting the gas lamps. Uh, there's no light coming from the church. And some of the girls on the second story balcony, you see them kind of immediately start to curtsy. And you see this gentleman who maybe looks to be about just a little bit older than you, maybe in his early 30s. Same kind of appearance as New York, except that his is not an egg yolk yellow. It is a very kind of egg white on white. The tie is a very simple gray, but it stands out. And he's got this mop of black hair that has been wetted and pulled back. Looks to just come down to just above the shoulders. In the gaslight, it looks like his eyes are blue. They could be green. And he kind of just comes over, puts his hands on the railing, surveys the streets, smiles at somebody who waves up at him, waves back, and then grabs one of the girls and goes inside. You can hear the piano playing loud, hear some laughter. The main life that's happening right now, because most of the stores are closing or have been closed, but everybody seems to be gravitating around the Gold-Digger.
Looks like the Gold-Digger it is. Just going there for a little bit, Pepper, just to see, you know? It's okay, you just want to check out the game, you know, see if they got poker. It's not gonna hurt to try, yeah?
In the distance, you hear a set of howls.
Mia was also, you had a letter from Mia, eh? It would be kind of rude if you don't go see her right away, but it's, yeah. Let's go see what this Gold-Digger Saloon. Maybe Mia's in there with her fiance. Yeah. I slowly, as I convinced myself,
Yeah.
even though I was already walking in that direction, the Gold-Digger.
You push the two doors open. Inside, you see a bunch of round, low top tables. Majority of them have one or two chairs at them. A couple of people that look like miners. They've got that soot all over their face. They've got that darkened clothing. You see that the girls that aren't talking to somebody at the table are all kind of lined up at the stairwell. It is a grand staircase that goes up to a landing and then curves back around like a U-turn and goes up onto the actual second story. The second story is completely open. It has an open balcony that kind of just looks down into the main room. It is extravagant in here.
Fancy.
It is really fancy. There is silk tapestries on the wall. The curtains themselves are a thick silk. There's greens and blues and purples strewn about. The bar itself is just a simple kind of L-shaped. There's a older gentleman and a younger gentleman that are working, kind of bouncing around, walking past each other. There's a hallway that leads out to where you can see that there's some kind of smoke, not a lot, but it's kind of coming in, and that's where the origin of the food smell is. And every so often you'll see just what looks to be maybe uh, a little Chinese or Korean or Japanese boy come over with a plate of food, bring it to a table, serve them, and then kind of bow respectfully and go back into the hallway. Uh, one such trip, you see one of the miners kind of trip him, and his table just starts laughing as the boy kind of comes crashing to the floor and has to pull himself up. It is not a den of good spirits in here. Like this is you can second you cross the threshold, you can taste the vile kind of greed and opulence that sits heavy in this bar.
The table that tripped a young Asian boy.
Mm-hmm.
They're just drinking, or they got a game going on, or
No, there's a couple shots in front of them. Somebody has a mug of something, and there's a plate of food that they're all kind of picking at, but there's no cards on the table.
head over to the table. Kind of stumbling.
You see, as you walk towards the table past the bar, a shape of somebody that was sitting at the bar kind of stands up, and you feel a hand on your shoulder. That's not what I would do, friend, but that's just advice from one kinsman to another. And he takes a big whiff. Like, we can talk outside if you'd like. And starts to make his way out.
I look at the table of those gentlemen.
Yeah. They're
Look at
drinking, talking to each other. The little boy comes back out, and one of them kind of grabs him, um, shakes him, very rudely imitating Chinese or Japanese language. And the boy just kind of shakes his head, not understanding, and ends up dropping some of the food. Picks it up and starts to go back towards the kitchen.
look at the and I look at in the direction where this guy who stopped me, that he headed out. How did he look?
He was maybe 5'10", 5'9", had a duster coat on, simple simple shirt, looks like suspenders, simple slacks, workman's boots. Everything looked to have been not dirty, but at least well worn. No hat. Tough choice.
Um, many are at the table?
Four of them.
Um, how many people are working the bar?
Two.
Wait, it, is it busy enough that I can probably reach over the bar and grab 4 shot glasses?
No.
Um,
No, it's not that busy.
mm,
Bartender does it. The older bartender does approach you. "I'm the drink friend."
Nah, no. Just let me get 4 empty shot glasses if you don't mind. Por favor.
For what exactly?
I wave my flask. I have my own. Put it back in my pocket.
Uh,
And
let me ask the boss.
you don't need to ask the boss. I'm right here. You got the 4 glasses. He doesn't need to know. He needs to know.
He looks over at the balcony, at the landing of the stairway. Then he looks back at you. $1.
$1? Tell you what, amigo. I put out a deck of cards. And I start shuffling. If I can find and guess your card, you let me have the 4 glasses.
$1.
$1 for 4 glasses. Do I have any money?
You probably have like maybe $1 and change.
You're saying I have to pay you $1. You want me to figure out the card? If I don't get your card, I'll give you the $1. But if I guess your card,
Now, what if I show you a card trick? If you can figure it out, you can have the glasses.
you know card tricks.
Yeah, I know card tricks.
Really. You work behind the bar.
Yeah, you pick up things here and there.
But that defeats the purpose. I'm trying to get just 4 empty glasses. That's it.
Ah, now I'm telling you how much it costs to get those 4 empty glasses.
Yeah, no fun, amigo.
You come back if you want to see my card trick.
What card trick can you do? What's the point of you giving me a card trick if I'm gonna give you one?
It's an eye for an eye.
Sure, humor me. Show me your card trick.
Yeah, he holds out his hand so you can give him your deck cards.
I give him another deck of cards.
You see him look through it to make sure that all the cards are there. Gives it a good riffle shuffle. Does a cut. Gives it another riffle shuffle. And then he takes the cards and just in a wide arc throws them all over the bar. Just out behind you. He's like, the trick is if you can pick that up before my boss gets down here, you get to keep your face intact.
Yeah. That's the card trick. That's nice.
And you just hear people, yeah, cards.
And I get up, I walk away.
Make a rage
That's
roll.
a good rage roll.
Yeah.
Just 1 die.
Yep. Yep. That's your rage. Difficulty 8.
5.
You feel your fists clench as the cards go flying above you, and you can hear them kind of fluttering to the ground behind you, the people laughing. The beast inside of you wants to desperately come out. This is not how you treat people.
You know what, Chavato? I'm not picking up the cards. Right? You're not gonna let your customers treat that young boy the way they're treating him this whole night since I've been here.
Nobody gives a good goddamn about that China boy. You see him put a gun on the counter. You gonna pick up those cards, amigo? Or you gonna find it real difficult to get a drink around here moving forward.
I'm gonna jam his gun with my gift,
Oh,
and I'm gonna look down like someone look down and when I'm gonna jam his gun, and when I look down, I'm gonna do a quick draw and have my gun pointed at his head.
what do you need to do for
Yeah,
jam gun?
I'm gonna look that up. Jam gun.
Oh ho ho! Already using your gifts.
The guru can cause any type of gun to jam or misfire with the use of this gift. The gift is, okay, the guru spends one gnosis and rolls manipulation plus crafts. Difficulty 5. The gun becomes unusable for 1 turn per success.
Okay.
So
So
manipulation plus crafts, which I don't have crafts.
yeah, and a gnosis point.
And what manipulation
Yep.
is 3. So 3 dice.
3 dice, difficulty 5.
Difficulty 5, and you already took out the gnosis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have 2 successes.
Okay. Now for your quick draw, let's have you do wits and firearms.
Wits and firearm.
Yeah, difficulty 7.
Which is 4. And my firearms is what? 2?
2 6 dice.
Uh,
So
you
7 or
said
higher.
7?
Yeah, 7 or higher.
2 successes. That's that's a 6.
Okay.
Wait, no, wait. No, that's a 9 because it's okay. Yeah, that's a 9, not a 6. 3 successes.
Okay.
9, 7, 7.
Yeah, so you pull out your gun, and the second you point it at him, you see him pull the trigger. The hammer cocks back on his gun, and then when it comes forward, you just hear like a thump, and there's no firing.
The gun's pointed at him, right? At his head.
Yep.
So this is my card trick, amigo. You were wrong. Somebody does care about the little Asian boy. The person holding this gun to your head. Me.
The gentleman that had stepped out comes back in. You see him rush over to you, put his hand on your hand, and bring your gun down. He looks over at the bartender. It's all right, Connor. Nobody has to get involved. You don't have to tell Lucius about this. Just let us walk out of here. And nothing has to happen. And the bartender just kind of looks at him, looks at you. You know this, motherfucker?
And I cocked back, the gun to. Oh, wait, no, he put it down, right, in my hand, so it's no
Yep.
longer pointed out.
Yep.
I would do another little trick and put the gun back in my holster.
The gentleman in the duster kind of looks over. He's like, people new in town, Connor. They need to be taught the rules. All right. Let's take this as a learning environment, learning experience. Let's just count our losses. All right. No harm, no foul. Nobody ended up dead tonight. So just, put the gun away.
Yeah, Connor, put the gun away, since you don't know how to use one.
The guy next to you leans over so that his face is kind of in your face, and he's just like, don't help me right now.
Yeah, I just smile. Like,
Connor puts the gun back under the bar. Get him out of here, Doc. I don't want to see the two of you for at least a week. The guy nods. Sure enough. Come on, friend. Let's teach you something about conflict, shall we?
ah. And I just look back at Connor and I just smile.
The gentleman leads you out into the street. Well, you got balls, son, I'll tell you that. But you're going to need to be a little bit wrangled in if you're going to be running around here for a bit.
Look, thanks, I guess. I'm not sure. I think I had the situation under control in there.
I don't
You
think you
just,
did.
this is the second time you tried to stop me. Why? Who are those men that are picking on that poor, defenseless little Asian boy?
Those are Pentaton
Who?
boys. You gotta be careful when you deal with them. And who taught you how to announce yourself when you come into a new city, boy? Come on. You could have had 2 or 3 strong in here get your back. Said you want to fly off the handle like you're by yourself, like some Ronin. And when he says that, your spine tingles like somebody walked over your grave. You here by yourself or you got a pack?
Oh, hold on, Tree. I'm taking notes.
Yeah.
Pennington boys, bartenders, Connor.
Yeah.
Uh, Ronan Pack. I should have. I should have figured out the way you took a big whiff of that air that in that filthy saloon. But should have. Hmm. No, no pack.
All right. Well, if you know how to shift, we can walk and talk, and I'll take you to the care and introduce you.
Uh, we can just walk shift, can we? Just enjoy, you know.
Yeah. All
So
right.
I don't even know your name,
But calls me Doc. Oh,
Doc.
it's kind of what stuck. Yeah. Come on. Follow me.
I found him, Doc. Like doctor.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Funny. You don't look like a doctor, Doc.
Yeah. It's funny how sometimes you get nicknames that just mean the exact opposite of what you do.
What exactly is it that you do besides stopping people like me from doing something brave or maybe foolish or maybe both?
I'm a warder. I'm the one that keeps things under control. So,
He's a what?
a warder.
Warder. Do I know what a warder is?
Probably not, since you haven't been really into caring much. You have no pack.
A warder. Uh, exactly does a warder do, Doc?
We're the ones responsible for the cairn's protection. So I tend to come into town, make sure that none of the young pups is trying to cause trouble, like you were about to do. And I make sure that the cairn and the city are mutually exclusive from one another. Our problems
So,
don't boil over into their streets, and their shenanigans don't boil over into ours.
so them those P- penis boys and Mr. Tender Connor, they know who we are or what we are.
No, no, they don't.
See,
No, the veil is protected here. We take great care.
see, and how many more there of us?
At the cairn, there's maybe 16 of us.
16.
A couple dozen, really, once everybody kind of comes in for winter. Um, we we can get as big as 3 dozen, maybe 4 dozen too, depending on whether or not you count kinfolk or not. The majority, the main group is maybe a dozen of us. You
See,
you a crescent moon by any chance?
crescent moon.
Yeah, Theurge.
And I spit. No, 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 not a crescent, not a theurge. Um, and I look up to see what phase of the moon
It
we're
is
in.
currently the half moon.
Definitely not the crescent moon. And I point up, no, no, not that either.
All right, I'm just wondering why you made your way out here, because most of the Theurge is kind of on edge recently. Thought
So why,
uh,
why?
I'll let the alpha discuss that with you. It's not my place. You
We
gonna be
far
staying
from.
long?
Yeah, I usually just go, but I supposed to meet with somebody here. But I
Hmm.
decided to see what the gold digger uh about.
Yeah, we try not to go in there by ourselves. Buddy system seems to work out real nice.
I don't have too many buddies.
Oh, that'll change. Give it time. And you walk for a good hour and a half, 2 hours out of the city. And He stops. You see him shift down into a massive kind of black, brown, and red wolf. And he howls what you
Black,
recognize as
red.
black, brown, and red. Uh, and you recognize it as like a welcome howl. And you hear a howl answer in return. Uh, and he shifts back into his human form. He's like, I'm not gonna let you walk in here by yourself as a Hamid, so I'll follow suit.
It's
Just be aware around the red talons, you're gonna wanna not be on two legs. If you want any respect from them, that is. You know how they are.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. I've heard. I heard. Have I ever dealt with red talons or heard about them?
You've heard of them, you've never dealt with them.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of them. Stories here and there.
Yeah. Good. Because our alpha is a red talon, so
Of course he is.
yeah.
Of course.
But that's fine. You'll be fine. You might not have to deal with him right off the bat at the beginning. So, and as he leads you into this wooded area at the base of the mountain, you can see a couple of people walking around in Hamid form.
I,
Uh,
I ask him. I'm like, I'm guessing you're not red talon.
oh no, no, sir. I'm uh, I'm a Shadow Lord. You must know, but don't let that dissuade your opinion of me.
No, no, not at all.
And as you walk into this cairn and you see these humans kind of hanging around with wolves, and they're all turning their attention towards the two of you, and Doc kind of waves and motions for everybody to kind of come over to him so he can introduce you or you can introduce yourself. This is where we're going to end our session 0 and your introduction to Conflict Colorado.
Well, yeah, almost got it.
So I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. We have 4 more session 0s as we introduce our wolf pack to you. Be aware that we will be alternating Tuesdays with our second season of Legend of the Five Rings, so that is coming back next week. If anything, I will catch you on Friday for our Star Wars game, or Monday for our Camarilla chapter of our Vampire the Masquerade game. As always, please continue to wash your hands, continue to keep your distance from people, continue to wear your masks in public. And if you can, please get yourselves vaccinated because we're still not out of the woods yet. As always on the channel, just as a reminder, it is okay to not feel okay. Mental health should not be a stigma or a taboo subject. So if you feel like you need help, please get it. As such, if you're watching live on Twitch, there are phone numbers going up in the chat right now to help you find the resources that you need in your area. And if you are not in the United States, there is a link going up right now to help you get those resources wherever you are in the world. Please, if you are somebody that is a friend of somebody that is a strong character or a happy-go-lucky character, please check in on them. You never know who's going through what and what battles they're facing. So as somebody who has been through some hard times this past year and a half, please check in on your friends. And as always, take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I will see you when I see you.